shift focus to the commodity markets. We have Manisha joining in with the latest. Manisha.
Thank you for that, Survi. Well, these are the markets that are still awaiting clarity as other asset classes as well. So it's ahead of Feb 1st, and we're looking at very choppy markets here. I'll start with what the street is anticipating, and there are various statements on whether or not on 1st of Feb we are going to be looking at those 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. If that is happening, is it happening at the same quantum that is being talked about? That is a big uncertainty there. In the meanwhile, when you look at the crude oil prices, we have continued to decline onto this one. We are trading at the lowest level since 2025. For the gold prices, we're not too far away from all-time highs. So all that uncertainty has led to safe haven buying coming in for gold. And when it comes to metals, well, we have seen a decline because the global PMI numbers have been on the weaker side. There are demand fears globally if you do see those tariffs come in. I want to take you visually through on what we've seen in sense of many of these commodities in last few years. I'll start with the crude oil prices, and that big gain came in at 2021, 53% on the higher side. Since then, a plus minus 10%, and then a plus minus 2 to 3% is what we've seen until now. So all those gains that we saw in 2021 is what we seem to be holding at. After that, we haven't done much. Same is the case really coming in for copper as well. 2021 was a huge year for all of those commodities. So we saw 26% of gains then, a decline, a plus minus 7% and a decline there. So as you can see, after those kind of gains, we haven't been able to see very strong numbers there. Last year, of course, copper saw all-time highs, but since then it has been a one-state decline. That's aluminum for you, and we are dealing with shortages right now. But even with that, the last couple of years, last year for that matter, hasn't done much. We're looking at alumina, bauxite trading at all-time highs. But has a lot of demand come in for aluminum? We haven't seen that. The huge super cycle that we talk about, or the EV demand in the global markets, clearly hasn't supported many of these metal prices. In case of aluminum also, 2021 was a great year, and after that, we only have seen a decline. Not so much support in last many years when it comes to iron ore and steel. We are looking at constant increase in production there. So as you can see, 2021 was a weak year. 23, we did see some gains, but 24 actually washed all of that out. And this year, we've started on a weaker note for this one as well. Final chart comes in for nickel. And while a couple of years were great for this one, since then, we have seen volume decline, demand decline. And many of these EV markets actually have moved on to proxies and substitutes. So nickel clearly in oversupply there as well. So many of these metal prices are actually waiting for cues from US in sense of tariffs, better data from China. Until then, this perhaps could just about continue.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So that is commodities as always, primer there.